Good morning, good morning. It's 7 o'clock from my side. I hope you are doing well. And once again, welcome to another session that we're having of Let's Connect. This is our weekly meetings where we come in, check in, connect, and also look at different issues that come up in the week. At times, we have topics that we're focusing on. And we're also in progress in terms of putting together a program that we will follow. And it'll be like a 4 weeks program for saying we're looking at entrepreneurship. Then we'll have 4 sessions that will assist in terms of supporting entrepreneurs in that regard. And then issues of mental health, we'll look at that and then have sessions that speak into that. And this is a space that we've decided, let us create it so that we can be able to share opportunities, to also connect with one another, and also just check in, because at times we do this live thing all by ourselves. We don't get to chat to other people. And when we come here and share the challenges that we face, at times you realize that I am not alone. There are other people that are going through what I'm going through, or there are other people that I would love to share and celebrate my successes with. So I'll do a brief introduction. And as I finish introducing myself, then I'll also hand over to you to do your introductions, just to check in terms of what's happening, where we are, and also how we can best support one another in this particular journey. So I'm Muraro Namataheni. I'm based in Thohoyandou in Limpopo. By profession, I am a certified financial planner, and I love the work that I do in terms of ensuring that we have conversations around finances. And one of my biggest joy is when I teach financial literacy. I have financial literacy trainings that we do. Now we are doing physical trainings. And it's very exciting when you find people realize that, oh, this is what it actually means, or this is where I actually am in life. So it's very important that we have these conversations, and at times it's things that are not so comfortable. So we need to make sure that we create a comfortable space, and also, once again, create a generation of people that are committed to their mission. And if that mission is to create wealth for themselves and the next generation, then we would have done well as a generation. That's what I do. I also run a book club, which is an exciting space for women to connect and also just to share about how what they have read has assisted them in terms of making better decisions in life. And speaking about the book club, different approaches we've tried, and now we are in a point where we're saying we must teach women independence. At times I don't get involved, even when they plan sessions. When we get invited, I just share the invitation and say, ladies, if you're available and interested, please go. And when there is a need for a meetup, I'm like, even when I'm not available, please arrange something, meet up, because it's empowered women. You need to be empowered enough to be able to say, let's connect, let's arrange something. And then that's what I do. And in terms of checking in, how I'm doing, I am doing well. Had a busy week, but all in all, I am happy. I am very happy in terms of how this week went out. Good morning, Pindi. Over to you. You can introduce yourself. How is it going? What's interesting in your world?
Morning, everybody. My name is Pindi Kawunda. I hope I'm audible. I'm a property practitioner. Has been a good week for me too. Very hectic but fruitful. So I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. When you say you're a property practitioner, what do you do really?
I sell properties. It's what we used to call real estate agent.
Mm. I see. It's a good thing that you clarified that, because these terms, as they change and change, sometimes they confuse us. And you might find that some people here in the group are looking to saying, I would like to purchase a property. How do I go about it? So if we need something like that, we just need to connect to Pindi.
True.
Mugobani, good morning. If you can introduce yourself, how have you been? Mugibi. Why do I have that
Oh,
surname in my head?
go on and what give me?
Yes, I was chatting to Mugobani in the morning because I asked him for something in terms of another application. So sorry about that.
Morning, ladies. I'm just happy that I'm meeting up with you. It's very much difficult on Saturday. I've never find myself free on a Saturday morning. Uh, this is one of the rare occasions. So I'm Fatwani Mugiwi. I'm a legal practitioner. Others say we are attorneys. Others will refer us to lawyers. I'm also an up and coming farmer, female farmer. That's where my passion is. And one other thing is that I've been writing a book for the past 2 years, but I think I got my groove back. I've started again. So yeah, that's me, and I'm just happy that I was able to connect with you this morning, and I'm looking forward to whatever. I didn't even check the topic, what today is all about, but I believe that at the end of the session, I'll be encouraged. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We did not send out a topic for this week. We're still breathing. We had an engagement last week because last week we were moving. We moved to this platform, and then people not getting emails every week. Those that have signed up on iEcho for the book club. So we also had an engagement in terms of what people would like to see or sessions that would like for us to focus on and putting together programs that will focus on specific areas. So we're busy with that. So today it's simply to connect, to chat, and find out how everyone is doing, what everyone is doing. And then in the next week, that's when we will start sharing a topic in this regard. I saw a message from Maria on chat. She indicated that she is Mariam Famadi. She's the marriage coach, author, and herbalist. She sells books and Bibles, and then she loves self-development. Thank you very much for joining us, Maria, and also noting that you cannot chat in this moment. Itumeleng, how are you? How is Bloemfontein?
Hi, morning, ladies. I'm good.
Your line is breaking.
Good, and currently I'm not in Bloem and Fixburg, very close to Lesotho. I can see cars from here. Good, and as always, I'm happy to be here as a problem. And we're struggling with network this time sometimes.
Yes, we can. Thank you very much, Itumeleng. Nonhlanhla, welcome. If you can unmute, introduce yourself. I think it's the first time you're joining us on these sessions. If you can introduce yourself, broadly share what you do, what's interesting in your world, tell them about the books that you're selling and the marketplace.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yes, it's my first time joining because I always wake up late on weekends. But today I tried to wake up early to join the session. So my name is Nonhlanhla Shembe. I'm currently based at Escort in KZN. So I'm running a business called Risepreneur, which provides a suite of digital services that help small businesses to build and grow their digital presence. So our platforms are as follows. So we have Rise Market, which is a marketplace where we help small businesses to sell and showcase their products online. And then we also have Business Directory, where businesses can just list their businesses for visibility. And then we also have what you call a press release submission platform, where businesses can just come and share their stories, news, press releases, or whatever that's happening in a business. You can just, share it on the platform. And then we also have some ebooks that we are selling. They're all just about supporting small businesses. And then the first one is about, costing and pricing for businesses. We also have another one that talks about, distribution networks, about the importance of, having a digital, I'm sorry, I'm just about, okay. So it's about, why is this word running out of my mind? It's just talking about, the importance of having a beautiful product, but, the product cannot really do that, sell alone without having distribution networks. And then the other one is just about sales. So yeah, that's basically what we are doing in a nutshell.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I'm sure some people have seen your books and also your marketplace when we share on our different platforms. And the other time I was just thinking in terms of putting a word in terms of the work that we're doing and also the connections that we're making, because mostly it's about supporting entrepreneurs. And that is exactly what we're doing. And also what you are doing as well speaks directly into that. So thank you for joining us. Would also love to continue sharing about those platforms to our people in such a way that we could also have a list to say from the people that are in this platform, these are the people that are advertising with you, and then they have listed their products and services on the marketplace. I love that aspect in terms of connecting us all together. Let me just check if there is someone else that has joined us before I speak about something that I was sharing with someone yesterday. Okay, so we'll keep it brief, but yesterday I got a message, and this other lady was saying, are you available for a phone call? Like, can I call? And I'm like, yo, it's a Friday afternoon. I am tired. I had a long day. So can you text or voice note? She's like, I want to inquire about funding. So I started prompting, asking questions, and it was so vague in such a way that there was a lot of work that needed to be done in terms of inquiring before we can direct this person to where they can go get the assistance that they need. And it just made me realize that at times we need to also speak about business funding in platforms like this. The other time I spoke about FSPs that we got contacted to say there's money available, find us financial services providers that we can fund, and they just need to do a 2 to 3 pages mini business plan speaking about where they are in their business, what challenges they are experiencing, what they need. But even with that, someone will just write something very broad without getting into the detail. And it makes it difficult because if you say, I want 10,000 to buy a laptop, I want 5,000 for a printer, and then I want 5,000 for a cell phone that I can use in the business, I want 5,000 to set up a website, then that's 25,000, but you know that you are going to use it for 1, 2, 3. And then those are reasonable amounts. They speak to what this costs in the market. It also shows that you've done your homework. But instead of someone's coming and saying, I want to set up a new branch, I need 50,000, or I need working capital, or if they say capital for the business, I need 100,000. And then that's all the information being provided. And you're just saying capital for the business, 100,000. So in the sessions that we will set up in future, we'll also get into those technicalities. And what I love about some of the programs that are available in terms of supporting entrepreneurs, in terms of developmental programs, they make sure that you attend the training sessions. They also make a mentor available that will guide you and also assist you. You get quotations, and then when you've got those quotations, then you can submit them, and then they fund you and support you in your business. For me, when I was full-time in business, there's so many opportunities that come up. You do a program for 3 months, and then they say, here's 100,000 towards your business. Or you do something for 4 weeks, and then they said, after this, we'll give you 15,000 towards your business. Then you are able to buy the small things that you need, and you're also able to pay for your contract data for the whole year. That's what I do at times because I don't like monthly debit orders. So for my contract, I just calculate, multiply by 12, and then I give them their money. I know they leave me alone, and then I've got those things paid for. And those are some of the tips that we'll share when we're engaging with entrepreneurs going forward. But briefly, from that conversation I had yesterday, I just thought, let me share this, but we'll also do that program where we'll know that today we're talking about marketing. Maybe Nhlanhla, you can take up one of the sessions and then share with entrepreneurs around marketing. Also share with them in terms of the availability of your platforms, how much it will cost them to then come and market on your platform. I know the other platform is for free, and then there's other things that you support them with as a way of saying, go there and do better and have your products seen. And we can also have a session on costing, pricing, a session on sales, a session on funding as well. So this is just a brief in terms of what entrepreneurs would need to know when we talk about funding, because most people would say, I need money to start a business, or I need money to grow my business, or I need money to run my business. And depending on where the business is, then it's a different conversation altogether. And the opportunities are there. There's different types of funding. And when you ask someone, what type are you looking for? They don't know. And you're like, at least do a little bit of research so that you know what you're looking for. I remember I was chatting to one of you here, and then you were saying, these pre-approvals from the banks. We could take this money, buy this, do that, and then be able to make that money back when we sell the product that we would have developed. And that we extend the conversation to say there is terms, there is repayments. So that's a type of funding on its own. So briefly, in terms of types of funding, we've got grants. Grants are usually termed free money because it's used for specific social impact mostly, the projects that community-based or social entrepreneurs would be focusing on when you are given the money. And at the end of the day, we just want to see impact. We just want to see what the business has done with the money that is provided, and you don't even have to pay it back. And then there is also loans where you would need to repay it with interest, and banks and developmental institutions also offer those loans, and one would need to understand when they're expected to repay the money. There are other programs where they will tell you, we'll give you the money, and in the first 6 months, because we are aware that you would still be building and not able to repay, you won't pay us anything. You'll only start paying us from month 7. And we need to do the research and know which ones are this. And we must not expect people to just share this information with us when you go to consultants, to share this information with you for free, just because somebody referred you. The third one, it's equity funding, where you are to give someone a percentage or shares in your business. In this way, your business is able to grow because there is a capital injection, and then this funding can also assist you. But you need to also understand the requirements from the other person when they give you the funds. How involved do they want to be in the decision making, or commitments in terms of delivery, in terms of what the business is offering, or do they just want to show up when it's at the end of the year and then they get their percentage share depending on how much they have contributed. So when you go up Africa, I did another program with people from African countries. They are ready to say, give me the money. But here in South Africa, we hold on so much to this ownership, and people will be like, never, I'll never give you shares of my business, when they know that the business is not making any profit. And had they been given this money, they will also be able to make the profit, give the person that has invested a percentage that they need to give them, and then also make money in the get-going. There's also crowdfunding, where you are raising amounts, small amounts from so many people online. People do set up accounts, share links, and mostly this works best when it's a social cause. When someone says, there's this happening, I need funds, or we need support in terms of this. And there's other businesses that also use crowdfunding to fund their businesses. They can say, this is what I'm doing, and then I need to raise fund, this is the target, and then they do that. And at times, some would do crowdfunding and also partner with a financial institution where the bank could say, if you raise 50,000, we'll match it and then give you another 50, so you have 100,000. And then there's competition, pitching events. This is my favorite because there is always a competition or a pitching event. People are applying, and sometimes when people share these opportunities, others would not, because they don't have the compliance that they need. So in one of the sessions, I'll also invite other experts that can come and speak about business funding in line with business compliance, so that you know and have everything that you need before you can apply for that particular funding. Is there anyone else that has a question, comment, or would like to share in terms of the different types of funding? I spoke about grants, loans, equity funding, crowdfunding, competitions, and pitching events. No questions, no comments. Okay. Oh, there's a hand. Whom give?
Hi, Mraro. Can you just elaborate more on crowdfunding? Because I feel like it's one area where people miss it, and if maybe you can just explain and tell us how to go about it. I know that it's simple in other countries. They rely on that more than any other way of funding business. So if you can elaborate more, maybe we can consider that. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. So when it comes to crowdfunding, it's not complicated. There are also platforms that are available where you can also be able to set up your campaign. So it's mostly a campaign. And with crowdfunding, it's you raising funds from a large number of people. And this is through online platforms where each person contributes a small amount towards a project or a product or a business. And in this way, it can either be a donation-based crowdfunding where supporters do not expect anything in return, just like how with some organizations that do things that are close to our heart, then we just donate to them. Sometimes NPOs, community outreach, people will be saying, we are raising funds to support these cancer patients. And then you're like, okay, I would want to contribute towards that. So this is a donation. I'm not expecting something in return. And then there's also instances where people could also give you something in return or a reward when you have contributed toward a crowdfunding project. So in this way, you are raising funds, but there's a small token that you do share with people that decide to contribute towards your campaign. It can be a t-shirt, it can be a book, it can be a sample of a product that you are selling, but you are just saying, I need support in growing this. And if it's a business, then you can say, I need support in growing this business. When you contribute or donate towards my business, then we'll give you a sample that you can use and also share with other people so that they get to know about our business or our cause. Or it's a t-shirt. With t-shirts, I love people that I see walking around wearing t-shirts, because now you know that your business or your organization is widely known. That's like getting free advertising. So there's a small reward that you can give to someone who's contributing to your campaign. And then some would also offer equities where they're saying for a small percentage or for X percentage of the business, then you can contribute towards this. And then it's very important that you are very clear in terms of what people would get out of this. I was just thinking of a time where I went to plant trees in Zambia. I think that was 2014 and 2015. They would help us set up this campaign, and then mine will just be to share with you to say, there's deforestation happening in Zambia. Please buy a tree that will support me towards my costs in terms of going there to travel. We'll plant a tree and then we'll send you the GPS coordinates and also a certificate so that in future you can go see your tree or just know that there's someone taking care of the tree that I've planted. So in that way, we are bringing the crowd together to fund a specific business, a specific product, a specific project. And in terms of platforms that are available, I have checked up a few platforms. I think BakerBuddy, it's one of the platforms that most people use and know of. And then there's Tunda Fund as well, where you can then set up those things. And there's also a few that are rising up, where I think it's Uprise Africa, where that one is the equity crowdfunding platform. But as we go through this, we'll also be able to share the links as well, and then assist one another in setting this up. Because if we're saying that is the route that one can look at in terms of funding, would need to dedicate some time to say, depending on what you're doing, this is how you set it up, like how we did with the LinkedIn masterclass. But crowdfunding is purely just bringing the crowd together, making sure that your goal is clear, and then marketing that through emails, social media, WhatsApp, and then keeping the people that are supporting you updated in terms of what you are doing. The example of crowdfunding, though it was not set up on a platform, there's Tandega. Tandega, when she does those BE spelling programs, she would put together a poster and then we'll share it on our platforms to say there's kids going to Botswana for BE spelling competitions, if you can contribute towards that. So that is crowdfunding, using existing platforms and individuals within your network to say, I'm doing this, if you can contribute towards that, and then people contribute accordingly. Does that answer your questions?
Yes, thank you. Thanks very much for the detailed explanation.
Okay, thank you very much. I was talking about crowdfunding, but we'll have a session on funding. I'm just having this because we didn't have a specific topic, and it's a question that I was dealing with yesterday where someone was asking around funding. And always the question would extend to who is funding, or where can I go for funding? So for me, I always start by saying there is what people would call bootstrapping, or using your own money. Because if you are willing to put in your own money towards the business, then you know that there are risks associated with business. And when you put in your own money, you can either choose to put it as capital, so that when you do your financials as well, it shows that you have invested, you've got equity share in this business. And or you can put it as a loan towards the business, and then it shows that you've given the business money to do 1, 2, 3, and then when the business does better, then you'll also be able to get your money back. But in terms of who is funding in South Africa, there is different people, different platforms that are available, and the main one, or the most common one, would say you can look at either the government or public sector for funding, and then there is also the private sector and the banks in terms of funding. Some of the places that we need to go look at when we're talking about funding, there is SIDFA. It was SIDA and SIFA, and then combined together now they are SIDFA. And you can check out what they are offering, because sometimes it's a funding directed to a specific industry or a specific sector that they're advertising at that instance. And sometimes they say it's non-financial support, but there's always finances when support is involved, where they can assist you with your banners, branding, and then they pay for all those things to make sure that your company is visible. So they also do training, that they train you on business readiness. I also facilitate for SIDA trainings in terms of your business startup programs. So those would assist someone that is starting and just talking entrepreneurship in that regard. So it makes it easier for you to understand different aspects. So those things are available, and then the government is offering you those at no cost as an entrepreneur. They also register your businesses for you. So if you've got a business you haven't registered, instead of going to people that will charge you 1,000 plus or 750 just to register a business, while you know that it only costs 175 Rand on CIPC, then you can go to SIDA and then they will do it for you at no cost. So it's one of those spaces where when someone says, Muraro, I'm looking for funding, I'm like, have you gone to SIDA? And they're like, I don't know where they are. Don't they only assist youth? And I'm like, that's a different one altogether. So this is where you need to go. These are their offices. And sometimes with people that are outside of our province, then I can say, let's just Google, let's find it. Here's your nearest SIDA office. Please go there. And then they will assist you. Because for me, Niaz, angisebenzi kwahulumeni to support businesses. This is something that I do out of my own need to connect and also to support other entrepreneurs. So instead of doing that, I just say, here's the person that can assist you and then guide you accordingly. And then there's also NYDA. So we spoke about SIDFA. There's NYDA, which is the National Youth Development Agency. These ones, they give grants. And then they also offer mentorships, business support. So yeah, grant, we said in quotation, it's free money. So they're supporting youth into entrepreneurship to say, here's the money, please go and grow your business, and also make sure that you employ at least one person in the business from this. So they need to also see impact. For people that need bigger funding, there's also the IDC, which is the Industrial Development Corporation, and then they offer loans, and this is for medium and large businesses in industrial sectors. So it's also important to go check them out and see what do they have available. That's from the government side of things. And also with different provinces, they have they had MEC funds throughout the provinces where they would post on their socials as well to say, we're supporting entrepreneurs, please submit your applications. Different departments would have different funds available. And then usually now, when they're starting, they want to show that they're working. And also when it's also end of financial year, they'll be saying, hey, there's money available, so they don't return the money, so they do programs. But there's also support that they offer in different sectors. With others, support can be attending a specific exhibition where they pay for people to go and attend. That's the government. Mostly people that are in the tourism space, there'll be a call to say there's an exhibition in Durban, in Cape Town, in Egypt. And people travel all over the world, and even outside, where people would say, we are going to exhibit, there's a call, we're going to the UK, and then they take people and then they go. In the other months, I think 2-3 months back, I shared something around that Germany partnership, that they assist entrepreneurs do that. Others applied, got accepted, they're traveling, they're attending these things because they saw something and applied, and it was relevant to their business and also their sector. Anyone that would like to share about what the government is doing to support small businesses? Okay, I'm going to move to the private sector now. Let me see, there's something on the chat. Hey, Lalel, Munduti, Muraro, you are our Google, Modim. Hey, okay. Yeah, you know, my next WhatsApp status will be, guys, don't ask me things that you can go and Google. I'm not your Google. But on the private sector side of things, there's also banks as well that offer funding. There's commercial banks, so all the 4 or 5 big banks. I say 5 because I saw an article the other time put forward, hi, our favorite bank is overcoming all these other banks in terms of the number of clients that they have. They had a massive growth in terms of client base, and they offer business loans, overdrafts, asset finance. Those are funding that can assist you in your business. And this is usually my first go-to when someone says, hey, I'm looking for funding for my business. I'm like, please go to the bank. Or even when someone says, hey, I'm looking to borrow money, I'm looking for a loan, and I'm like, go to the bank, because the bank has systems in place to be able to do the assessment in terms of your credit worthiness. If you're going to pay back, they can check so that they don't end up doing reckless funding. And someone, when they respond to say, no, I got declined at the bank, and I'm thinking, if the bank does not want to give you money, who am I to be giving you money? Or who else to trust you when you don't have a good record in terms of making back the payments that you need? When we spoke about credit profiles in our trainings and financial literacy, sometimes people just do things, take things, close account, change phone numbers, forgetting that they took out those contracts and loans using their ID numbers, and then their credit profile are a mess. We had a session, I think it was last year, with Nokubonga when she was talking about the credit profiles, credit checks, how she can assist as a service offering. So those that are still wondering, where do I start in terms of ensuring that my credit is well in order? I'm not Googling for you, but there's Nokubonga who's available as a resource that we can use. And some people, when we're talking like this, you can have a business idea to say, oh, I can actually do this to support entrepreneurs. Like how you're saying about Google, you can take this and say, I will Google, I will find out what banks are offering to support entrepreneurs, because they also have funds that are specific to entrepreneurs, and they have better rates, they have special terms to it. But because we don't take the time to find out, to say, what else besides the traditional loans that you're offering that you have available to support entrepreneurs, then they will tell you about it, help you with the application processes as well. There's also business partners. They specialize in SMME funding. So I think they start from 500,000 up to 50 million. And sometimes you would say, oh, there's this funding, it's only 10,000 available. And someone comes and pitches a 2 million project. And you're like, wouldn't you have just gone to business partners and stop wasting our time because you only have 10,000, and then you come and pitch a 2 million type of business? So you need to know what the funder is offering, and also this will assist you so that you don't waste their time and also waste your time. Angel investors, venture capital, so those aspects are people that would look for businesses to support and fund. And then as the business grows, then you get a return of your investment, more like your equity funding aspect. So those fall under the private sector as well. Even crowdfunding would fall under the private sector because it's not an initiative that is done by the government. Any questions, comments on the private sector side of things? Someone was asking what SEDA is. It's a Small Enterprise Development Agency. And SEDA and SEFA have combined. They are all babies of the Department of Small Business Development. So they also have blended finance programs where it can either be part grant and part loan. If they say we're giving you 100,000, they can say 30,000 is a loan. You need to pay us the 30,000 back, and then the 70,000 is a grant, so you don't need to pay us that money back. So it's different programs. They're always being creative, coming up with different things to assist us. But what's important is also having a business plan where you're very clear and also know your numbers, the financial matters. We've got Usandra here. I shared her post yesterday, your partner in financial clarity. I loved that tagline because she's an accountant. She's someone that understands the numbers. And if you connect with her, she will then assist you. And we're also teaching, as we connect here, teaching people to pay for the services because she's running a business. And that's why I don't like phone calls. I'm like, if you want something, send me a WhatsApp and then I will apply my mind. I will send you the response. And as I do that, I'll also tell you who to go to because I've moved away from doing that work because, hey, I want to wear Delela Shem. Sometimes someone can just speak to you like they own you after having paid 500 Rand for you to assist them in terms of registering a business. I will come to you, Malerato. I just saw your hand. But before I come to you, there's issues of compliance. So your CIPC, that's where we register companies. I used to do that and I didn't even charge a lot. But I'm like, I cannot take this type of communication. I cannot be treated like this for 500 Rand. So I tell people to leave me alone. I'll share the information, I'll advertise for others. I'll tell you to go to Sandra, and then Sandra will assist you. There's SARS, there's BEE. So what's very important is to know your sector, understand the right funding for your business. And if you need support and mentorship, then there's also incubators, mentorship programs. Some of them are run by the government, some it's private companies like Aborace Corp. So you need to always be looking out for opportunities as an entrepreneur. Malerato?
Good morning. Thank you, Malalo. I don't think it's linked to the private sector, and so I joined a bit late. But, regarding funding, one always finds, I'm 52 years old, and I think according to the business thing, a bit late. And I find all the time, even when one wants to attempt defunding, the age thing is such a deterrent. I hit a brick wall all the time. Not even funding failure, but even those opportunities that you were talking about, I forgot the name, but where you go and maybe to different countries or whatever, where you apply. So I think on this platform, if there is a service or a person who would help in that regard, please, I need help. Maybe there's something wrong. I know you spoke about Sandra Make of Akitamo Contactor. I don't know what she does, but I'll chat to her. But I'm at a point where I need to grow my business. Yeah, so it's a plea for. I'm willing to pay, but I really need to. I think age really is a disadvantage for me where I am right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for raising that. There's a lot of people that would always bring the age factor. Everything it's for young people. But from the one that I spoke about, where they're traveling to Germany, to the UK, that one has no age factor to it. So anyone that is wanting to apply can also apply. SIDA or SIDFA now also does not have an age factor in terms of what the government is providing, those two. And there is also something that I say as a response to this, to say we must start something that will speak to people that are over 35. And this is the space where we can say, who's over for 35? What assistance do they need? Let's put something together and let's go get the money that will ideally support people that are over 35. Because I think what we do, it's simply just to say there is nothing available. But if you look at the private sector or people that are not government funded, programs that are not government run, they put together a proposal, a project. This is an idea that I'm freely sharing. Someone can take it, run with it. If you haven't done so, now I'm only turning 34, guys, next month. So I'll only be personally concerned about issues of business people over 35 when I'm 30, when I'm 35 or over, or if someone nudges me and say, Murero, come, let's do this, then I can offer my support in terms of us crafting a proposal to say there is this sector that is feeling neglected. Let us go find the money and put together a program to support people that are over 35 in their businesses. But for now, I'm like, hey, guys, just like how when someone would say, there is this sector of people or there is this gender that when you're doing your work, you're not catering for them. I'm like, bona bahlaleleni. They must get up, they must do the research, find the money, put together programs, deliver those programs. Because this concern that you have about growing your business, no one is catering that. It's not just you raising that. There's people that have started their businesses, no one is supporting them because they are grown-ups. And then you could start a grown-up fund where you're saying, if you're in business and then you're doing this, let us support you. You can even go to financial institutions. They can give you the money to say, go and support grown-ups that are in business because we need them. So this is just a call to say, if something is a pain point, it's also an opportunity on the flip side.
Thank you. I like that. I like that.
Thank you. Kuthiwa to my Google, kindly confirm if support from government is only for formal entrepreneurs. It's different opportunities at different times. They also support people that are not registered. So in South Africa, usually formal would mean your business is registered with CIPC, but there's also opportunities where they say sole traders come, sole proprietors come and get the assistance that you need. But even if you're not formally registered, it's very important. I'll speak from the experience of the banking side of things. It's very important to have a business account for your business, even if it's not registered in CIPC. The banks have decided to cater for that market because most people were saying this is the unbanked economy, something like that, and or township economy. So they had a business zero account where you don't pay any monthly account fee. It was such a vibe in the past year, though last year they decided, okay, let's put it in the same category as the easy account, make it still accessible, but it's purely for business people. So when we talk about banking in one of the sessions, we'll also touch on that so that you know that even if you're not formally registered to CIPC, there is bank products that are made to assist you separate your business and your personal banking, because in that way you will be able to show a track record in terms of how your business is doing. And in terms of registering and separating banks, most people, when I say, when you want to advertise, pay the 100 Rand towards the Standard Bank account, I'm saying that because that is a separate account that I've opened for the advertising business. So it's separate. I use it purely for that. And then I can have a track record that I'm building with the bank. And if they're looking for someone who banks with them, then I can show, okay, in this past month, I was able to make 2,000 Rand from advertising. The other month, 3,000 Rand from advertising. I'm just throwing those figures just to bring it back, because I was chatting to someone and then they told me ever since they started their business last year, August, now we are in May, and they said they've only made 6,000 Rand. And I was like, and you still want to continue? And you want hundreds, thousands to continue on this, when you understand the regulatory space and the restrictions that you are given. And it was a very specific, industry specific business. And I was just thinking, you could do so much more if you're given this money, instead of employing other people to come and fail with you here. Let's look at other avenues, other businesses that you can look at, because sometimes we just do these things and then we just want to hold on and hold on. And then for me, when the year comes to an end, if it's 2,000 a month, I can say I've made 24,000 or 30,000 as a revenue from the advertising business. And that's a track record. But someone would say, I've only made 6,000 in the 12 months that I've been operating. Then you start asking your question, you start dividing, how much a month are you making? That's like 500 Rand a month. Okay, what can you do differently? Because when we talk about business, other people would think we need to be making millions. You could be making 1,000 Rand a month, it's okay. And then you find ways in which you can grow your business. Some would say, I want to grow my business. And then you ask them, where is your business now? Tell us your business story. And then they can't even tell you how much they made in the past month. So now, when we continue on these sessions, I think we need to shake ourselves up as entrepreneurs and be able to be true to ourselves, and also be able to communicate to say, I made 700 Rand last month, or I made 200 Rand last month. And then what do I need to then grow further? Anyone with questions, comments, or people that would like to share something related to what we're talking about today, or maybe areas that you would want us to focus on? I'm putting something together. I'll share it on the group for inputs in terms of the sessions that we can focus on, because we need to connect. And at times, as we grow, then we'll have physical connect sessions. That's what we're building this towards. Thank you.
Hi, Mularo. If I can come in there, I
Hello.
hope this time you guys can hear me.
Yes.
I was listening and someone was commenting about age. I think she and I are on the same boat. In terms of training and funding, I attended training, I think it was in 2023, December, from NEF, in partner with SARS. Yes, so they have those trainings apparently all over Mzansi. How I got to go to that training was I got an email from SARS and then I attended. So the National Empowerment Fund, at the end of the training, they provide a lot of things, from legal to ethics to management, to accountants. It's like they give you everything that you need for a business startup or those who are already on their way up. So yes, it's the partnership with National Empowerment Fund with SARS, and then no age restriction. And the other one I just got from a book club. I recently joined the International Book Club. So this one was from Uganda. and then the age group was up to 35. And then I asked if they might have anything for over 30. No, apply. We'll see what we can do. So I'll share the link with the lady who spoke, or here if it's possible, so that whoever needs those international training and whatnot can try their luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing. And I love how we are opening up to international Africa and beyond. And mine is simply to share opportunities and also advertise. So this is a plea to all of you that are here. When we come across opportunities, please do share. We'll share with people so that we all can apply. And sometimes we need to know about what other people are doing for people that are over the age 35 as a learning space. For me, there's programs that I do go and attend, and people will look at me and say, "What are you doing here? Like, you should be the one training, or why am I your mentor? You should be the one mentoring me." And I'm like, no, I am here to learn. And I make it clear to say, I'm building something similar. So I need to be a participant, learn what you are doing, so that when I go and implement, I can implement it better or see where I can make changes. But thank you so much for sharing. I think that's the Mint Fresh one that you're talking about. We spoke about it when you were doing that program. And there's a lot that we always share to say, guys, apply. Thank you so much. Can I have someone close for us? I got, yeah. I'm just saying now that we're in 10%. We say we didn't have a topic, and now we are talking. Can someone come in, close for us, wish us well for the week, for the weekend?
Okay, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much, even though I joined a bit late, but one looks forward to these sessions, and thank you for facilitating, Molalo, and everybody who joined. And may you have a wonderful and blessed weekend. See you next week, Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Yena.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God, how do I leave now?